Now you have to be careful if you are getting discus imported from Asia, particularly if they're large, because a lot of them are grown in large outdoor ponds and they're fed a lot of phytoplankton or zooplankton. So what actually happens is they have these big phytoplankton farms and then they feed phytoplankton to the zooplankton. So the zooplankton is absolutely full of vitamins and goodness for the fish, but then that food is fed to the discus. So sometimes when you get the fish, they don't want to eat anything except live food. And that's a real problem, because here in Sydney, providing live food to your fish is one big pain in the ass. So you are going to have to get them onto frozen food, and then eventually the plan is to get them onto dry food. Now, if some of your fish already eat well, that helps, because sometimes they learn the habit from the other fish and they can behaviorally teach each other to eat the frozen or even dry food. But it is really a matter of having to wean them from potentially live food to frozen food, and then hopefully eventually dry food, because what will happen a lot of the time is people will just feed them things like beef heart, and that's full of protein, makes the fish look great, but because it lacks almost all essential vitamins, it means that they do end up getting sick very easily. So if they're not eating anything at all, you may have no other choice than to access live food for your fish. Then once they settle down, then you want to introduce some frozen food with the live food, and then hopefully allow them to go on to the frozen food. Then once they're eating the frozen food good, then hopefully introduce some dry food with the frozen food, and then hopefully wean them onto that. And this process can be quite simple, and this process can also be an absolute pain in the neck. So that's just something to be aware of when you're buying imported discus. So optimally, the main food I'll want to feed them is Spectrum's probiotics, and then Danici's discus food are my favourite foods.